Hello, everyone. This is Kristie with AG Takes Over. I'm so glad you're here, whether you're visiting for the first time or a regular viewer. I know why you're tuned in today. You want to know if I am like Scrooge McDuck swimming in my piles of gold. I'm not. um, if you know my channel well, you know that's not my priority. So, no, this is not actually about how to rise to fame and fortune. But some of you who do not have YouTube channels but are just curious viewers have wondered, how does all that stuff work? Like, when I don't watch ads, do you still make money? If I skip through and I only watch part of the ad, do you still make money? Do you make more money if I'm on a premium account? I have some of those answers, not all of them. And some of you who are either have a channel or are considering starting a channel might want to know a little bit more about the analytics of how do I know who's watching and when they're watching and what kind of content that I make gets new subscribers versus what kind is really good at retaining subscribers. And some of you might already have your channels and know a few of these things but want to learn more. So, I make no claims of being a YouTube analytics expert, but I'm going to put things in as plain English as I can, and I have a whole lot of screenshots, so I'm just going to walk you through some stuff. They're kind of loosely broken into categories. I find that it's like very, very easy to get distracted and just bounce around from topic to topic, and there's a lot of overlap, so it didn't lend itself to like the most organized format, I confess. Um, but yeah, let's just dive in. So first things first, if you have a channel, um, you not only have access to YouTube, but you also have access to YouTube Studio, which is like the companion thing. It's an app and it's a website for content creators. And for people who are aggressively trying to like grow their channel and hoping to become rich and famous off of an AgTube channel, go for it. There are a whole lot of tutorials and videos. I mean, a ton of them on YouTube that are not targeted towards us, not targeted towards doll channels, but are just generalist. And if you watch them, they are really focused on how to grow, how to, monetize and succeed and increase your revenue and all of that stuff. This is just a little bit more of a nerdy, medium deep dive. So when I log into YouTube Studio, this is what it pulls up. So it brings up a dashboard. And then if I click the, I think I have a screenshot somewhere else of what the dashboard is, but it, whatever, it opens up to the dashboard, and then there's this column of things on the left-hand side. So I said this video will be about YouTube analytics. So I'm clicking on analytics. Um, this was, I took this screenshot on January 19th, and I did like, let's just look at the last 365 days. So at a very quick glance, it tells you how many views did you get? How does that compare, if you have enough data, to the previous 365 days? So I got 24% more views than the previous 365 days. I got 68% more watch time hours. I got 30% fewer subscribers. It doesn't mean that my channel lost. It means it grew at a slower rate in this particular 365 days compared to the previous year's 365 days. And then what was my estimated revenue and how does that compare? I think the previous year was not a full year, so obviously 143% more. Yeah, because I wasn't like monetized for very long at all, if at all, maybe not even at all. I don't know. Um, and by the way, for those of you who are wondering how does a channel get monetized, I know a lot of AgTubers do describe this, but the very short answer is you have to have at least 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. So some people make a whole lot of shorts that builds subscriber numbers, but does not build up the watch hours as much. So they might hit 1,000 subscribers and then still be working to hit that 4K watch hours. Other people do more long form content They may not draw as many subscribers as quickly, but they have dedicated, the followers and the subscribers that they do have are pretty dedicated and regular. And so they might get that 4,000 hours and still be waiting to get to 1,000 subscribers, which, if I recall correctly, was my situation. Anyway, so looking at this, being a complete novice, um, I could interpret this a couple of ways, and I'm sure that there are experts who would walk me through it, but just my take on it. I see that more views and significantly more watch hours, but growing at a slower rate, which could mean the content I'm making is just not drawing as many people, right? Um, but the people who are there are tending to watch more long form content. So maybe fewer people are drawn to that, but the ones who are drawn stay. Um, it could mean like there are more channels being added all the time. And so, people's, I don't know, I don't want to say more competition because that's absurd. But there are more channels added. There are certainly a lot of new channels, so maybe more for people to choose from. Or um, I am a certain kind of a flavor of channel, right? It's not just about long form versus short form content. It is about, um, I am very open about my views, and my doll channel is not just isolated. I only talk about dolls and the texture of this fabric and the color of this doll's hair, but I also do share. I talk about my wife regularly, so I'm openly queer. I was very clear about who I did not want being in charge of this country. Can't get everything we want, apparently. Um, but I don't mince words about topics like misogyny and racism. So I may kind of tap out, and I may max out my audience at some point. It may be natural that growth slows down, or that I'm having attrition. So that's okay. It is okay. But somebody else who's an expert could look at this and go, that's not really necessarily the story behind that. And I don't know. I don't know what it is, but here's what you look at when you just first go into analytics. So now you know. And then this is when you go into analytics, it automatically opens up at the overview tab. You can click on any of those other tabs. And then, even regardless of which tab you're on, you also are going to set a time frame. Now, it will never have that day's data because it hasn't calculated it yet. It will have today's data late tomorrow. So you can do this. I think you have a little bit more flexibility when you're looking at it on a computer versus on your phone, because I don't think you can customize the view on your phone. But on here, I could literally click on there and it would say like last 7 days, last 28 days, last 365 days, the lifetime of your channel, or custom. And the custom you could set to just be yesterday if you want to know like just how many views and what were people watching yesterday and how much money did my channel generate yesterday. You could do that, which I sometimes do just because it's fun. All right, so that's just a very, very little bit about when you first get in there. Now I thought maybe I'll try to organize this a little bit and show you some kind of thematic things. So in terms of who's watching, you would go to that, go into YouTube Studio, click on Analytics, and then click the Audience tab, and this is what shows up. Again, if you look in the upper right, I switched the search terms to this one for the last 28 days instead of 365, just trying to show you some different things. And it shows you returning viewers versus unique viewers and how that compares to the previous 28 days. I would say if you had like consistently high numbers of returning viewers, but very low numbers of new, that again, my like novice interpretation of that is your channel is good at retaining people, maybe not doing the kind of videos that tend to draw new viewers as much, which kind of totally describes my channel. Like most of the things that I put out are ones that are really good for the audience I already have and aren't like big haul crazy, things like the big dollhouse tours or the all my dolls over 100 dolls. That kind of stuff will get new subscribers. It will get fresh eyes on my channel, but that's not the majority of my content. So I definitely have typically higher returning viewers than new viewers. If you had the opposite happening, it would mean you have content that's really good at getting people's attention and gets them to check out your channel, but they don't come back. So I obviously that's not a situation that you want. And then it'll tell you how many subscribers you have gained in the past 28 days. You may have gained more than that, but you also may have lost some. So it's telling you how many you are up for the last 28 days. And I will show you something later that breaks it down and tells you like how many did you gain over a period, how many did you lose over a period, and then that gives you a little more insight into that. How many are you up? And tells you like how does this compare? Again, once you have enough data, once your channel has aged enough, then it can tell you like how does that compare to your average. And your average will go down over time or go up over time, depending on, that's what averages do, right? If you keep having high numbers, then your average is going to go up. If you keep having lower numbers, then your average will go down. Duh. And then I'm not going to go into the bottom parts. I just wanted to talk about that graph. Let me show you one thing that I actually do think is useful. Most of this stuff is like fun if you're just curious. For me, for the kind of community that we're in, for the kind of person that I am, I don't use any of this to inform the decisions that I make. It's kind of like, oh, I'm seeing how everybody's responding, but I'm going to continue. It's not going to change the way that I'm doing things too much. But the next slide on here is one that I actually have consulted and kind of made my plans based on this. And that is um, if you are clicking on audience and you scroll down a little bit, it will show you like when your viewers tend to be on. And so the lightest colors are when you have the fewest viewers. And then obviously the darkest are when you have the most people on. So this changes from time to time. Like I used to do my videos on Wednesdays. I would do Wednesdays and Saturdays. And then I switched it to Sundays and Thursdays because clearly, look, Sunday is where it's at. Sunday afternoon, a lot of people watching. Maybe not on somebody else's analytics, but on mine. Like that's when my audience is available. So I want to make it. I'm going to make the videos anyway. I might as well post them at a time that it's easier for you all to see. YouTube Studio is very emphatic that when you post your video has no impact on the long-term success of the video. Like they're very insistent. Like you could post it on a, Monday at 5 a.m. and it would do just as well. I believe them, but I also don't believe them. Like I believe them because why would they lie? But also that seems so counterintuitive because obviously, I mean, maybe long-term success, but just like for a video to get that initial boost of excitement, especially if you're going to do a premiere, you want people to be available to show up for the premiere so that there's like actually some people in the chat chatting and you're building that sense of community. So I picked Sunday, and then it looks like maybe Thursday is still not like the best, but I don't want to do Friday and then turn around Sunday and have nothing going on during the week. So I think for now, I'll keep it at Sunday and Thursday, but I do check this maybe once every couple months just to see like, has that trend changed? And if it changed drastically, I probably would adjust my posting days. I just don't like, I'm not going to do Friday and turn around and do another one on Sunday. Anyway, so that is interesting. The next one is a little bit more about audience. This is all on that main audience tab, just scrolling up or down. Talks to you about it doesn't talk to you about anything. It gives you information about what percentage of people are subscribed or not subscribed. When we as content creators ask people to subscribe and it feels to those of you who are already subscribed like, oh my God, we've heard this already. Look, it's because we have access to this information. We're like 43.4% of y'all are not subscribing. If you're brand new to the channel, no biggie. But if you've watched a couple videos, just go ahead and subscribe. You know why that matters? It doesn't make any extra money for somebody. Your hours don't count any more than anyone else's, as far as I know. Um, it's just you're more likely to invest a little bit, to comment, to come back, to turn on notifications, and to know when we have those videos. Like when I go browse YouTube, I click on subscriptions and I want to see the channels that I've already subscribed to because they've kind of already passed the muster with me and my time is limited. So, and I will stay subscribed unless their channel starts really taking a shift into content that I'm not interested in. So, my feeling is if I like a channel, I will give it the benefit of the doubt and go ahead and subscribe. And then I'm kind of like, I'm your subscriber to lose. If you keep doing what you're doing or you keep doing things I like, I will remain subscribed and I will be more likely to watch more of your videos. You would have to kind of in air quotes, right? Like do something wrong. Your content would have to change pretty substantially for me to unsubscribe. So yeah, that's why we say please subscribe, just because of that. Um, Also, this has a gender breakdown. Um, it has an age breakdown, and this has been interesting to see over time because mine, this particular thing was just over 28 days. But when I look at this demographic or this metric over like the lifetime of my channel or the past 90 days or the past year, it's pretty well spread. Like I don't trend hard for any one age group. Like the 13 to 17 always says 0% because I say my channel is an adult channel. So anybody who's saying they're a kid, like they're not watching my channel. But I really have like all the way from 18 to 24 up to there's one that I didn't scroll down far enough when I took this screenshot, but it goes older obviously than 54 years. And I've got like pretty solid demographics in each one, which I think is kind of interesting. And I like thinking, oh, it has appeal to people across all ages. I hope so. And then um, there is another spot where it tells you how many people watch with captions on versus off. I watch everything with captions on because I watch a lot of videos with no sound on. Like I just watch them in places where I don't carry headphones around and I watch them in places where I wouldn't want sound on bothering other people. So, but that number is always surprisingly low and also just talks to you about like English, or maybe that is the caption and I just didn't scroll up high enough. That's what it is. It is of the people who are using captions, what percentage, or what percentage are using English captions, what percentage are using German captions that's on auto translation, etc. Must be tiny, tiny numbers because they don't register even 1%. All right, let's move on to the next one. Practically at the very end of the video, I will show you like how to get to this screen that shows you those tabs: content, traffic source, geography, cities, viewer age, viewer gender, blah, blah, blah. All right. This was just, again, the last 28 days, but it gives you the age groups. And this is kind of interesting. It tells you what percentage um, of the views they account for, and then how long they typically watch a video. That's fascinating to me. Like, who's got the greater attention span? Who's watching these videos for longer? Who's watching the highest percentage? And look, 65 and up crowd is watching a higher percentage than other people. And then what percentage of watch time hours are they accounting for? So fascinating stuff. Fascinating stuff to me. Again, does it change anything about the way I approach videos? Not a damn thing. I just am enough of a nerd that I find this stuff interesting. And I know that enough of you found it interesting because you've asked me if I would share some of this stuff. Again, gender gives you a breakdown because I think in the other, like, little bit more of just a snapshot, it said 0% user specified, but here it does show. It's 0.1%. But yeah, again, in that same screen, if you click on geography, it'll tell you like where are people in the world? Where in the world are they watching your videos? Same thing. Views, watch time hours, and average view duration. This one doesn't have average percentage of videos viewed, but gives you some interesting information. There is a compare to button just in case anybody has looked up here and seen what this is. Before I move on to the next section of the video, or like kind of next topic, I wanted to show you what that is. So if you click on that, it compares like this particular period to the preceding period, or this year, like this January, how is it comparing to last January? How all of my videos have performed in that first 24 hours. That would be interesting because they said it doesn't impact your like long-term performance, but obviously it would make a big difference if I posted a video at Monday 5 a.m. And Sunday 5 p.m. And so if I wanted to try that, I'm not going to because I'm not up at 5 a.m. I could do that and then compare them, like see how they each did in their first 24 hours. Anyway, those are some of the things that come up. These say suggested comparisons, which implies that there might be some additional ones. I don't know. I never use that button. But that's a little bit about like if you want to use YouTube Analytics to learn more about who is watching. And then the next section is going to be looking at how are people getting to your channel? How are they getting to these videos? And again, lots of information coming your way. I don't use any of it for kind of predictive measures, but if that's floats your boat, then go for it. So back to that main tab that I'm going to show you how to get to later. If you click on traffic source, this is one way to get some information, and it will show you um, are they just browsing and they come across your video? That is actually the largest um, for me. And then suggested videos is accounts for quite a lot. Like when somebody's watching a video, the videos that come up at the end of the video, or like that's going to be the next one to play, or they suggest watch this one next, or the ones that are on the side or underneath. That is YouTube going, hey, Joanna, we know what kind of videos you watch. You watch a lot of these dollhouse tour videos. We've got one we think you'll like. And they put my video off to the right while she's watching some video. And if Joanna clicks on that, it's going to get registered as a suggested video. So 17.7% comes from that, right? Not as much as the browse feature, but still a lot. YouTube search, when people are specifically searching. And I believe if you click on that, which I didn't, it will tell you, maybe I shared this somewhere else, what search terms people use that prompts them to get to your channel. And then channel pages, if they're actually on your channel. External, I don't know. I think that would probably be like if I posted a link on Facebook or I sent a link to a friend and then they clicked on that. I think that's external. I'm not sure. Other features, I don't even know. Um, Playlists, we'll talk about, do playlists help in a little bit, but here's a brief answer. Compared to suggested videos, they have surprisingly little power in terms of getting people to your channel or getting people to your videos. Yeah, I mean, it's not nothing. And then notifications, only 2.2% are coming because of notifications. So it's a very small number, but it's also in 28 days, 347 views. That's not nothing. 347 times that my videos were viewed because people had their notifications turned on. The percentage is small, but the number is good. And then end screens, I put end screens at the end of every single video. If you are all about growing your channel and getting a whole lot of views, the end screens really don't help all that much. Most people do not click on them. 0.3%, just 42 in 1 month for a channel of my size, right? My channel is about 3,000 subscribers. Moving on, if you click on subscription source, this will tell you how many people how many people you are up total, how many you gained in this period, and how many you lost. I mentioned this earlier. I said, so I saw you are up 89 subscribers over the last 28 days. I actually gained 135, but I lost a whopping 46. Dang. What did I say that offended some people? um, so 21 of them were on my channel. Like they came to it through my channel or they clicked on my channel and then unsubscribed. I don't know. Maybe they saw something they didn't like. I know things like the Pride video or whatever come up pretty substantially when you go to my channel. So maybe I have no idea. I have no idea. I mean, I gained more, right? So I probably, if I could find out somehow what is it that's causing me to lose subscribers, if I were like really, really concerned, right? I would try to find out, how do I learn more about what is causing people, especially that number of from my YouTube channel, what is causing people to unsubscribe? Because if I could lower that and my like overall number, the one in the left column, that 89, were closer to the one in the middle, 135, like my channel would be growing at a lot faster rate. I'm gonna be honest, it's not, it's not that big a deal to me. I really like this channel. I put a lot of time into it, but I'm not gonna put that kind of energy into it. Like that's not an energy I want to put into it because it would cease to be the fun hobby that it is. Um, and then this is one that's just interesting. It's another look at how users or how viewers find your videos. Again, that browse feature, suggested videos, YouTube search, etc. So if you go to analytics, then click on content and then just scroll down enough, I think you find this. It's not at the very top. And then if you click on, so when you're there, remember I showed you like here it says overall, but if you click on YouTube search a couple tabs over, then it will show you what search terms people are using. So 14.5% of my traffic for that 28 days came from YouTube searches. 8.5% of that was the terms American Girl doll. 7.4 were people who knew what they were looking for and they typed in AG takes over. And then people who like dollhouse tours, American Girl Dollhouse and American Girl Dollhouse Tour were both in there, right? So making sure that your when you post your videos, if they have these things in them, if they maybe have those in their like tags or whatever, that might YouTube insists that it does not, like putting those words in your tags does not make any difference. I think they're like, we know what you're saying in the video and we can send people to your channel if you're saying those things. But yeah, I put the tags in anyway. It doesn't hurt. It takes me like 5 extra seconds. All right. And then the last thing on the who is or how do they get there is, again, this is a 365-day view. So I just wanted to show you the um, the order basically stayed the same. Browse features, then suggested videos, then YouTube search, then channel pages, and then a bunch of other stuff. Yeah, the end screens is still 0.4%. I think that's a little bit higher. The overall of 365 days was higher than the 28-day view that I had a couple slides ago. It tells you, obviously you can see here, it gives you a breakdown of how many watch hours are coming from those things. For example, from the suggested videos, that only accounts for 20%, 20.2% of all of the views, but it counts for 31.8% of all of the hours that people spent watching. So the suggested videos are like super helpful. The YouTube search accounts for 13.2% of the views, but only 6.6% of the watch hours. So I don't know. I would love to know what like a real hardcore YouTube analytics nerd would say about all of this stuff. Like if they were looking at my channel, but you probably have to pay them. That's not going to happen. I'll just look. I'll pick things up here and there, and mostly it's just interesting. So I did say, do playlists help? And just to give one more look at that, views from playlists, and then views in total, views per playlist start, How many of your watch hours? This was a 28-day look. So 100 additional hours were watched because of playlists, um, out of 3,100 hours that month, right? 474 views out of 15,500 views. And then the duration doesn't say anything about subscribers. And the estimated revenue was for the whole month. It wasn't just from playlists, I think. Yeah, I think that was just 134.74 was from that 28 days, December 23rd to January 19th. So yeah, I think playlists are helpful. I think end screens are helpful. I do them for the benefit of anybody who enjoys them. But if you look at these numbers, they don't make a huge difference. What are they watching? So we talked about who's watching. We talked about how are they getting there. I'm going to show you a few slides that will give you a better sense of what are they watching. So if you look at content, it will always show you like your top 10 videos of that period that you're looking at. This one, I forget when this was, but it was like from a particular month, what were my top 10 watched videos? And so a lot of them are from that month because they're new and they got more views. And then the ones that aren't are the ones that kind of have more lasting appeal. So, I'm just going to go through this. My reactions to your American Girl doll collection was new that month. The Christmas haul was new. The American Girl doll haul was new. Doll mail was new. The goals, let's see what was not. All 5 of my American Girl doll houses was not new. And the all my dolls was not new. I know for sure those were not, but they consistently make my top 10 because those are some of my most viewed videos in general. So even when it's been a year, those videos still are probably on any given month's top 10. But this kind of tells you, what are people watching? If you did this for a longer period than just that month, like let's say 3 months, that would really give you a sense of it's not just the newness, like people are always going to watch the things that are new, but what what things do people gravitate towards over time? And looking at this, I can say hauls, like 1, 2, 3 of the top 4 were haul videos or mail or me opening stuff. Dollhouse tours, all my dolls videos, and then everything else is to a much less extent, right? The other things just kind of they're not the kind of things people keep coming back to, I think. And then this is interesting too. Where are you gaining subscribers? So in a given month, I got 12 new subscribers from my reactions to your American Girl doll collections. In that 1 month, I gained 12 subscribers from there. I lost a subscriber on the did I meet my 2024 American Girl collector goals? How did I lose you on that? If maybe they were like, look, I came here for the hauls. I didn't come here to hear you talk about your goals. What my dolls are wearing for winter and answering your questions, lost a subscriber there. I mean, it could be for any number of reasons, but they happened to hit unsubscribe while they were watching it, is my understanding. I think that's how those are counted. The 3K giveaway, I got 9 subscribers. All my dolls, I got more subscribers initially, but that has slowed way down. So I only got 1 subscriber that month. And then it gives you the revenue and the duration and impressions, which I'm going to be the worst to explain this, but my understanding of impressions are the number of times, like an impression is every time YouTube puts your content in front of someone, whether that's in a search result, whether that's a suggested for you, whether that's, as they're browsing, like any time that they've basically given you the opportunity to click, that's an impression. And so, um, in 1 month, they did 284,947 impressions of all of my videos. Of that, over 60,000 were on this one video. So when that video was brand new, they were like, people are tuning in. People are watching for a decent amount of time. People seem to like this. Let's show it to more people. My understanding is they also do more impressions in the first 24 hours, and that it declines sharply after that unless the video is doing well during the first 24 hours. Which is why I always ask people, please do like and please do comment, because I don't earn any money from that, but it might convince the algorithm to do more impressions for that video, which will get it in front of more eyes, which is actually what I want. I want people to see the things. That's why I spend a lot of time and energy making them, right? So that's what impressions means. And that's why your comments and your thumbs up and your shares and those kind of things do help, because they will get the algorithm to give some more impressions. That's my understanding anyway. Correct me if you are a genius about this stuff in the comments. And then the impressions click-through rate is telling you, of all those impressions, what was the turnaround? Like, what was the return on their investment? They put this thing in front of a lot of eyes. What percentage of people went ahead and clicked on it? So my reactions to your American Girl doll collections, they put it in front of a whole lot of eyes, but it only had a 2% click-through rate. So maybe that thumbnail was not entertaining enough or engaging enough, or maybe the title wasn't clear enough. I think it was. Maybe it wasn't a topic that it was the top viewed video, but it might not have gotten a lot of new viewers. I'd have to click on the video and then click on the video's analytics to see the returning viewers versus unique viewers or new viewers. So I would have to click on that to see more, but seeing this, like, they did a whole lot of impressions for it and the click-through rate was kind of low, versus I looked down at the agtube New Year's tag, and they only did like not even 8,500 impressions, but the click-through rate was 5.5%, which is pretty high. So I don't know. I don't know what all that means. I know it means a higher percentage of people were clicking when they got those impressions than on some of the other videos. What I would do with that information, your guess is as good as mine. Just sharing. All right. Another one, in terms of what are they watching, is this. So looking at first 7 days of videos performances over, I think this was like 3 months. I think this was like a 3-month view. And it was like, okay, looking at all of your videos over the past 3 months, which ones had the best first week? Like their opening week at the movies, right? Which ones had the best first week and which ones had the worst first week? And it was like new viewers is on the left. I kind of have gotten that blocked with this red oval, but new viewers is on the left column. New viewers who returned, and then views in total. So they were like, that huge American Dollhouse haul or American Doll haul from Nashville, 26.2% of the people who were new, like they came to your channel for the first time because of that video, 26.2% of them came back. That's awesome. Compared to this DIY make a wall hanger for your American Girl dolls, barely got any new viewers. We're like way down at the bottom. And none of them came back. Jerks. That video was good. And this is why when you hear me say the content that gets people is the hauls and the big, like, consumerism driven things, look at it. A haul, Is She Worth It was like an unboxing, so that was new stuff, right? Unboxing, and also like a timely thing, a review of a newer product. And then the reactions to your collections, I'm happy about that one. And then Christmas haul and a store tour. Versus Um, doll photography, me dressing some of the dolls, doing a DIY wall hanger for your dolls, like things that are more about oh yeah, and my daughter doing her little dollhouse tour. But these things barely got new people and almost none of them came back. So when I keep harping on that point, it's because it's true. This is objectively true. Like the content that has more creativity and educational value is often the worst at getting people to come check out the channel and getting them to come back. But that's the content that like my heart is poured into, and that's the content. Like, it's not that I won't make the other ones, but I am going to keep making that content, which means the channel's not going to grow as fast as it could. I could focus on only the kind of top performing videos. If you really were watching this going, how can I achieve fame and fortune through my AgTube channel? I still don't think that's going to happen, but if you wanted to get closer, you would come here and look at these top performing videos and you would keep making stuff like that. That would be your formula. That ain't my formula, and it's okay. All right. And then again, in the what are they watching? This is if you, whoa, sorry, hit the mic. That'll be helpful. If you make a lot of different kinds of content and you want to see, like, I do playlists, I do videos, I do posts, and I have done like one short ever in my life. So I wouldn't even click on that tab. But mostly what I pour my energy into is videos. So I click on this tab. If you had lots of different kinds of content, this page or this view would be worth exploring. All right. What about the money? You've gotten you've gotten some ideas because I haven't been hiding or blacking out the numbers. But if you want, like, all the information that I can give you about how much I'm making on this, I'm happy to share it. Let's just say I'm not going to quit my day job. I am happy to receive any money that Google AdSense wants to send my way, but it is a drop in the bucket compared to the time that I put in. So I'm just going to keep doing what I love. So as of 2/11/25, I'm filming this on February 11th. I don't know when you're going to watch it, but I had made on my channel ever $2,744.24. I have been doing this channel since September. September of 2025 will be 3 years. So 2 years and change, not coming up on 2.5 years. I don't know. I can't math right now. And that's where we're at money wise. Subscribers, I just looked. It's actually at 3,100 right now because I got a few more subscribers today. Watch time. This is so cool. 61,287 hours. That is always astounding to me. And I think I cut off a number on the views, or maybe that's correct. 371,216. That might be right. That's nuts to me. That's nuts. And in a world where people have very, very fleeting attention spans, we'll get to that more later in the video, if you're still here. But the average view is 9 minutes and 54 seconds. Most of my videos are longer. So I'm like, hey, a lot of people don't watch. But that's true. A lot of people leave in the first 30 seconds. This is just not what they're looking for. They clicked, they went meh, and then they went somewhere else. But a lot of people are staying and watching. That impressions number and my average click-through rate is 3.53. I think I looked this up. Like, when I first started looking at analytics, I was like, what's a good click-through rate? And I don't remember what they said. So yeah. Anyway, 2,700 and change. You can look at this if you do it by date, it'll tell you like by month, and you can go like keep scrolling down and it'll show you, I forget how many. I think it'll tell you the whole lifetime of it, like how much you made each month. That November of 2024 was my top earning month, $214.02. I was like, what the heck? Everybody was watching videos in November. I don't know. But this is kind of interesting. It'll break it down. Where is that income coming from? So watch page ads pretty much like when you're watching the videos and those ads pop up, that's accounting for most of that money. I do make a little bit more from people who do YouTube Premium. Oh, by the way, now we're looking at 365 days, not the lifetime, because the 2,700 was the lifetime of the channel. This is the last 365 days. That's why the number dropped. So for this January 22nd of 24 to January 20th of 2025, you could see where the money's coming from. Playback based, I think it's called clicks per clicks per thousand, clicks per mil, which is 1,000. I think that's what that is, clicks per mil. So for every 1,000 click, I don't even understand this one. You can look it up. Playback based CPM. I don't know. But YouTube Premium, you do get a little bit more when people watch from a premium account. Shout out to CJ if you're watching. I know you put my videos on even when you're not fully, engaged with them because you have a premium account and you know that helps. Love you. And yeah, so most of my YouTube income comes from watch page ads. Transaction revenue would be if you're selling stuff. And I'm not selling stuff. Like you're selling stuff on YouTube. Like, not just selling stuff. I think you can also like have people buy stickers when they're watching lives and I don't know, other kinds of like give you money directly things that would charge you. And obviously I'm not doing that. Next one is, remember I said you can go back through the months and see how much you made. Here you go. If you're wondering, so I said I'm filming this on the 11th and so far I've made 56.66 for this month, like the 1st through the 10th. And then 136 was last month's. The month before that, 181. Before that big month of 214. Big month. I'm no Kim Kardashian. 174, 174, 139, 150, 156, 155, 109, 135, 94. So I have to go all the way back to February of 2024 to get to a month where I didn't at least hit 100. When your channel's monetized, if you don't get $100 in that particular month, you don't get anything deposited into your account. It just rolls over into the next month and they wait until you have 100. So for basically the past year, I have had enough in my revenue every month to get a deposit. Yay. And then here is, if you're looking at, this one was a 90-day view. If you're wanting to know like which videos are earning me the most over the past 90 days, in this case, in the past 3 months. There they are. And so again, if you were so inclined, you could look at which of these videos are getting me the most money, which of them are getting me the most subscribers, and you could make more content like that. It's interesting though. So looking at subscribers, I've circled 2 numbers here. All 5 of my American Girl doll houses has gotten me a crap ton of subscribers in the past year. This is one of the year views. Ranking 25 American Girl big ticket items has only gotten me 7. All My Dolls has only gotten 36. I mean, which is still a lot, but compared to all 5 of the doll houses, that one is massively in the past year has gotten a lot more new subscribers. I think it was put out within that year and the All My Dolls went, no, that's not true. I don't know why. It just gets more subscribers, I guess, even though it didn't make as much money as the All My Dolls one. The all 5 of my doll houses got more subscribers but made less money than the All My Dolls video. And I can tell you why. Because it resulted in a lot fewer, it had more views, it got more subscribers, but it made less money than the All My Dolls video because it generated fewer watch hours. That All My Dolls video was a long ass video. It was like 2 hours and 20 minutes. So people who watched that generated a lot more income for me. Hey, thanks. It took a long time to make, so I appreciate it. Again, the impressions versus the click-through rate. There's a higher click-through rate for this other video that's much lower down on the list that had a lot fewer impressions. I don't know. I don't know why that happens, and it would be something to look into and try to figure out why if you were so inclined. Next is, I'm going to go through these kind of quickly because it's like 8 slides, but I just wanted to show you every single video I've ever done because you see that like, oh, over the lifetime of her channel, she's made $2,700. I don't know if that sounds like nothing to you or that sounds like a lot to you. It simultaneously sounds like both to me. I'm like, hey, it's $2,700 I got for working on a hobby. That's great. That's cool because I would have done it anyway. And also, I'm like, oh my gosh, if we counted how many hours I've put into this, that is nothing. So, if you want to know how that breaks down in terms of videos, the most I've ever made on a video was that All My Dolls video, and it was $170 so far. Closely followed by the all 5 of my American Girl doll houses. And then much lower in terms of income was another My 5 American Girl doll houses, but an updated one. And then these are just in order of a descending order. So you're going to see that number get smaller and smaller and smaller. It goes like $170 on one video. Yeah, it quickly goes down to 20 and then it goes down lower. I'm just going to hold this up here for a little bit for you to see. Goes down to like 12, 9, 7, right? Like the pros and cons of being a slightly older American Girl doll collector, which was ASL accessible. So I had to do a lot more editing to put that in ASL also. $7. I'm not actually rising to fame and fortune. Yeah, a lot of those AG Fashion Week videos made like $4 or $5. Bullies, haters, critics, how to respond when people are unkind about your dolls. Man, this video was good. And I feel like it was important and it empowered the people who watched it. And that video has made $4.76 if I'm rounding up. Like, okay. There's a video that says, "Is it ruined? Straw hat repair for American Girl dolls." It was a tutorial. It made like $3.70. Keep going down to $1 and change. Giant American Girl doll or Girl of Today haul made like $1.20 something cents. A video that was all about storage and organization that has ASL interpretation, again, took a long time, made $1.80. Please, 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 please don't go into this for the money. Yeah, I came up with this like new wardrobe for Covey. My wife and I each created like an alternate wardrobe for her. I made 22 cents on that video. Anyway, there's where all the money is. I just swimming in it. And then some random nerdy things, and then I promise I'm wrapping up soon because I just looked at the time. All right. I told you earlier that I would come back at the end and show you where to find this view that has like all of these tabs across the top. So you go into YouTube Studio, you click on Analytics on the left, and then you click on Overview, which I think is actually what it takes you to. I think it automatically will take you to Overview. And then as you scroll down a little bit, it will show you like your top 5 for that period, in this case, over the lifetime. Your top 10, videos. And if you scroll below that, it will say see more, and you click on see more. And that's what brings up all of this stuff, where then you can click on revenue sources and your audience's age and gender and where the subscribers are coming from and that kind of thing. On a day-to-day basis, you will get access to analytics about specific videos, like ones that you have just published. And so this one is like 5-ish days in. I got the coolest thing. It's like 15 feet away in my loft. If you watch this video, great. If not, I'm not going to spoil it for you. I got something really cool. So it's saying about 5-ish days in, how many views? 1.1 thousand. It's a little more than usual. shows you this gray bar is kind of your average video's performance, and then how this one is doing. Watch time hours, 234 hours. I have gained 7 subscribers, and I have made $11.70 on that video. Cool. If you want to know some other things, if you want to be humbled, what percent of people were still watching after 30 seconds? This is always crazy to me. The number of people who are like, nah, just peace out after 30 seconds. You're like, I made this 28-minute video. And they're like, not for me. So this one says 67% of viewers were still watching around the 30-second mark, which is typical for my channel. I would love to know. It says learn more by comparing it to your other videos. I would love to know like what other people's averages are. So I don't know if you're a content creator for agtube specifically, like let me know in the comments, like what is your average percent? And then it tells you like over the duration of the video. So by the end of that video, roughly 33% were still watching. That's cool. And it showed me these little spikes, like spikes were when more people were watching or rewatched or shared. And they're like, that's cool for you to know. I don't usually look at that, but I was like, oh, that's interesting. It's nice little humbling moment to see how many people, um, are like gone by the end of your videos. So if you're still here, like you're in the elite if you're still watching this. Oh yeah, this one, 2 days, 5 hours in, instead of gaining 7 subscribers, I have lost one. And instead of making $11.70, I have made $3.17. And fewer people are watching it, and they are spending less time watching it. But the percentage viewed, the number of people still watching at the 30-second mark, the percentage that are still watching at the end, those aren't that far off, right? Those are pretty much the same as the other video. Just fewer people are clicking on it to begin with, I think, and some of them who left at the within that first 30 seconds or watched a bit of it, like losing a subscriber. Well, I guess I'm glad it's only one. All right. And then this is kind of always fun. So those were like humbling moments, right? Like when you see how many people peace out of your videos before they're done or before you're even 30 seconds in. I guess if you really cared and you wanted it to count as a view, then I think they count that first 30 seconds. Like you have to watch for at least 30 seconds. So you could try to make your videos like really captivating and maybe tantalizing. And I don't know, really, really engaging for those first 30 seconds to get people to stay. I just, if you've watched my videos, I just sit down and start talking. But this is always kind of cool. So views over the last 48 hours and views over the last 60 minutes. Sometimes there are no views over the last 60 minutes, just depends on what time, but there's always views for me anyway, over the last 48 hours. So you can not only see the total, but you can like see what people are watching, and you can keep scrolling down and see like sometimes I will see randomly like one person in the past 48 hours watched this video that I did 2 years ago. That was like some random video. And I'm like, I just love knowing that there's some video that I made, 2 years ago that I really liked, and I poured myself, some of myself into that video, and it's not totally forgotten, right? It's not like it's out there generating some big paycheck, but like somebody's watching it. Somebody's watching Covey's alternate wardrobe collection and appreciating that, I hope, right? It's like they're the minority, but those videos do occasionally still get some views, and I don't look at this often, but when I do, it's always kind of heartening to see like, oh, that's cool. People are watching those things still, because usually they just get forgotten about for the most part. So yeah, there we go. Good Lord. I'm not doing this again, unless my channel like grows substantially and those numbers would be so different that it would be interesting to compare. But I'm not expecting it to grow like super quickly. So I don't anticipate doing this again anytime soon. But I actually had fun doing this. And if you're still watching, you are a special breed of nerd too, and I appreciate you for that. And let me know whatever your thoughts are doll related in the comments. I promise you, I will read them and respond. And even though statistics show you're unlikely to still be watching, you're unlikely to subscribe if I tell you to subscribe, and you're unlikely to click on the playlist or the end card. I'm going to put them up anyway, and I'm going to invite you to do all those things anyway. All right, take care. I will be back with more doll content pretty soon. Bye.